Hello, I'm Chrigel Maurer. I come from Adelboden, Switzerland. I'm 28 years old and I'm working as a paraglider test pilot with Advance. I am an athlete of Red Bull X-Alps 2011.
The fact that Christian, nicknamed Chrigel, is competing is a logical progression given his resume.
For 8 years I was extremely interested in competition flying, and during that time I started to discover that this feeling of competing was something that suited me. But then I began to feel I'd had enough because the form of competition was always the same, and I needed a little of something new. And a certain challenge, be it organizational, be it teamwork. There are many aspects that make the X-Alps exciting. And that's why I applied. And because 2009 was so exciting, I want to do it again, despite the exertion.
Chrigel has surely taken on one of the toughest adventure races in the world. In his homeland, the athlete has been known by another name for a long time now.
I once flew over these mountains for nearly 320 kilometers until I almost reached Landeck in Austria. It was incredibly emotional for me, and I told this story repeatedly, and a journalist once wrote an article about it in a newspaper and put two and two together, noticing that I come from Adelboden and that I fly as well as an Adler, and consequently awarded me my nickname.
The experienced eagle from Adelboden stays fully grounded and unaffected.
I've got a lot of experience, the last 12 years of flying and 10 years of competition. All in all, that's pretty good. Flying a paraglider, paragliding as a sport, gives a great deal back to me. On the one hand, flying is in itself an extremely pleasurable activity. It is possible to combine or experience so much in a short time, and so many emotions come into play too. And the sport of paragliding, with competition flying, with acrobatic flying, offers so many opportunities to develop oneself, even to start thriving on it somewhat.
His wife Karin accompanies her husband, together with their children, as often as possible.
When it comes to Chrigel, I have absolutely no problem with the fact that he's paragliding almost daily. The more a person is airborne, the more routine you have, the more you know the limit.
Karin also paraglides and supports Chrigel with his plans for the Red Bull X-Alps. In 2009, the Swiss already demonstrated what he's got.
Our participation in the Red Bull X-Alps 2009 pleased many people because I already held a few titles due to my flying skills. No one really quite knew how good I was on foot, and I think that with the Red Bull X-Alps it's vital to be able to move well, so that you can be in the right place at the right time, in order to then take off. Because one is always slower on foot. And then, when I was ahead after 3 days, the organization started to make statements. Yes, he's had a bit of luck, but the experienced competitors will come through. There's more to come. And I just kept thinking, let's wait and see.
In the second year of competing, extreme pressure is placed on the previous year's winner. Chrigel puts his position as favorite into perspective.
Chancen gibt's sicher.
There's bound to be a chance, and I think that there is a likelihood of coming somewhere in the top 10. But it's important to be very careful in this regard, because if one starts out with an injury or something, then it takes no time at all to fall right to the back. The adventure basically makes the whole thing entirely unpredictable.
However, in the air, Chrigel is entirely predictable these days.
When I was involved in acrobatic flying during my younger years, it's fair to say that I took too many risks. Although I did always make sure that I had good equipment, good rescue facilities close at hand, and now I'm able to benefit from these experiences and fly the maneuvers truly safely, even if they do look rather extreme. My family keeps me well grounded. It's so good to head home in the evening, and now and again I think about holding back from the limit a little and then returning home again just as usual. It is true that I've sometimes thought how great it would be to be free, but the tolerance that my family shows enables me to partake in such adventures and such projects. And if it's possible to have both, then that is of course the perfect option.
To Chrigel, his kids are everything. He devotes his short time on solid ground to them. He takes his role as father and as idol very seriously.
For me, the concept of being a role model is a very fascinating subject. It wasn't something that I was aware of for a long time because I was totally immersed in sport. I was still young and I had great role models of my own. And now with the family and the children, it's clear that they simply do everything that I do. And when it comes to paragliding, I also intend to make sure that I remain more aware of this role model function in the future.
My name is Thomas Turja. I'm a mountain guide and a psychologist.
And Chrigel supporter at the Red Bull X-Alps 2011.
We have a strategy, and that strategy is called S3. Our aim is to ensure superiority in this adventure, and in order to do so, we understand that we need to aim for safety on the one hand, together with speed on the other, and to thus achieve an optimum superior compromise.
Thomas appears to round off Team Swiss 1 perfectly.
The cooperation or the interpersonal aspect is very, very important. The fact that individuals can trust each other and be efficient.
The pair approach the event in a highly systematic manner and define their intentions twofold.
We have two goals, and the two goals are like two Monacos to us. The first Monaco, which is situated on the Mediterranean, it would be great if Chrigel could reach it. And the other Monaco is situated there on the beach at Lake Tuma, and we tell ourselves that heading back in good health and as good friends to our families in August is just as important, if not even more so.
Together with supporter Thomas, we meet Monaco 2009 quite fast, but I missed the raft, so I landed in the water, and 2011, it's a big goal of me to hit the raft again. So see us at Red Bull X-Alps 2011.